What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. I support his deportation policy
Oh, no. No. Why?
because it has numerous effects on low income wages, because it lowers criminality, because we cannot be a nation where we do not abide by our laws.
Okay, if we can't be a nation where we don't abide by our laws, therefore we have to punish them for their misdemeanors, why are you okay with not punishing Trump for his 34 felonies?
Well, no one said I wasn't, but the fact is he is the president. This is the situation we're in. And it's a separate issue. So you're deflecting.
Well, I mean, I'm not deflecting. I'm responding exactly to a comment that you had made by drawing on your own hypocrisy. I think it's hypocritical to say that you support Trump. You support Trump because it's mass deportation. And then when me asking you
Right?
why you say it's because we can't be a nation that doesn't abide by its laws, well, considering the
That's
fact
one of
that
the
Donald
reasons. I
Trump,
quoted, I quoted
considering,
low income labor. I quoted
well,
several things.
hey, Chrissy, I don't know if this is going to be a shock to you. I could only talk about one reason at one time. I only have one mouth, and not
Okay.
two.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, anyways, to
Deal.
respond to that reason, I find it hypocritical to suggest that because we need to be a nation that abides by its laws, we need to deport people and destroy our economy over a simple misdemeanor. But then when Donald Trump is sued and held liable for rape, when Donald Trump is convicted of 34 felonies, when Donald Trump launches his fake elector scheme and tries to rig the outcome of the 2020 presidential election by sending fake slates of electors to 7 different key swing states to steal the election from Biden, when Donald Trump infringes on the First Amendment by saying it's now illegal to criticize him in the media or that he wants to ban the burning of the American flag, when he infringes on the Second Amendment by directing his DOJ to find a way to ban all gun ownership for law-abiding trans-American
I
citizens.
mean, but
When he
Dean, in
infringes on the
good faith, you
14th
can't
Amendment. I'm not done yet. I'm still
do
going
things
over
at one
the
time.
infringements on
But
the
it's not a
laws.
reasonable
I'm still
conversation at
going
that
over the
point.
infringements of the laws. Or when Donald Trump infringes on the 14th Amendment by trying to illegally take away birthright citizenship from the children of undocumented immigrants born here, even though they've been guaranteed that right from the since 1865. Or when he questions the 22nd Amendment by saying that maybe there's ways he could run for a third term, right? Oh, and when he's sued in New York for lying about the valuations of one of his properties, or is intentionally concealing classified documents at his property in Mar-a-Lago, or is calling it
Right.
an act of hostility to hold pedos accountable by voting for the release of the Epstein files, or sexually abuses little girls and grown adult women in
Right.
Howard
It's a
Stern,
it's
so
a
on and
cool
so forth.
filibuster.
Then you
It's a cool
well,
filibuster.
the thing is it's not a filibuster. There's just literally so
It
many
is.
instances of Donald Trump breaking the law, so it takes a while to go through them all. But the point is, you want to hold somebody accountable for a misdemeanor by deporting them from the country. But then when Donald Trump does all of these things and more, you want to make him president. It's hypocritical.
Okay, so having a debate on Donald Trump's personal life or his business violation of civil torts related to business, or his sexual assault guilt in a civil court of law, these are all separate issues from deportation, Dane or Dean. I mean, you give me 20 different facets of his supposed incorrect behavior, but I'm trying to talk to you about deportation and why it's good for America. That is a deflection.
Okay.
What you just did is a deflection. You also give me 20 things. Like, how am I supposed to
Right.
respond to that? Which one?
Awesome.
Because I can go through those individualistically, but when you onslaught a person with so much data, you make the conversation non-concise.
What's the deflection?
The deflection is the volume and the scope of what you just relayed to me in informative,
Oh,
pattern.
So you're telling me that that my statement wouldn't be deflection if I just made it more concise. Okay, sure, I could do
Yeah,
that.
my position
So
is
I could do that.
deportation
Oh,
is
interrupt me.
good. Deportation.
Yeah, we heard you.
Not his
We heard you.
sexual civil charges.
I'll repeat this. I'm fine. I'll repeat it. You
Keep
said
it
that
concise to
deportation is good.
deportation.
You said that deportation was good for 3 reasons. The third reason was because you think that America should be a country that upholds its law. And
Of
by
course.
pointing out all the things that Donald Trump has done that have broken the law in very drastic ways on so many occasions isn't deflecting away from the argument. It's just pointing out your own
Okay.
hypocrisy, because seemingly you only want to uphold our law when it's about an immigrant. You don't want to uphold our law when it's about Donald Trump. Instead, you want to give him control
I've never
over the
said
law by
that.
making him
That's an
president.
assumption on your part.
Well,
That's an assumption on your part.
the proof is a
Because
fact.
no part of my statement.
So,
wait. No
can
part
I
of my
finish without
statement.
you
Donald
interrupting me?
Trump is. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Chrissy. The proof is the fact that you voted
Yep.
for him and that you support him as president today. If you truly wanted to uphold the law, then you wouldn't support this 34 count felon that has done these other billion things that have broken the law as president when he continues to use the presidency to break the law more and more and more and more and more. Any true American patriot that wants to uphold the law and condemn disarray, condemn disorder, and condemn lawlessness would obviously not support Donald Trump as president for all of these reasons.
No, it's not true because all of those reasons are highly nuanced and we have to go through them individually, which we can do that, but it's a total distraction from why deportation is useful to the American people.
Well, it's
But
not
that's
a,
what you
it's
guys
not
do.
a
You don't really
distraction nor
care about the
deflection away from
American
the point.
people. You
If it
like
is,
distraction.
it is not a
But we can go into
distraction.
the felonies. You want to talk
It
about
is-
the felonies?
It is
He's
not
got
a,
felonies,
sir,
right?
It is not a
He
distraction.
has felonies, right?
One moment, Chrissy. It is not a distraction nor a deflection from the point if you think it would be necessary in order for me to argue my point, which is you're a hypocrite. Remember, the argument here is that you're a hypocrite because you think that it's okay to support mass deportation that destroy our economy, reduce our GDP by 1.1 through 1.7 trill, reduce our government revenue by 100 bill, and erodes the moral and social fabric of this country by, separating families, kidnapping naked children, and throwing them in U-Hauls and illegally deporting people like Abrigo Garcia to Seacut where they're tortured, right? All because you want to uphold the law. Well, then in the same breath saying that, well, I don't really care that Donald Trump was able to scapegoat any accountability for committing those 34 felonies because he's president. I'm going to support that presidency.
Well, how has he escaped
one
accountability
moment.
for that? Let's again, you don't stick to one thing. You make assumptions and then you roll into multiple things. So let's focus on one thing. Let's focus on the felonies, right?
Sure, we can focus
These
on the felonies if you want.
were okay. The felonies is 34 felonies, correct?
Yes.
And they deal with campaign contributions being inappropriately directed because it had to do with covering up to do with supposed payments to a porn star. Is that right?
Well, they weren't supposed because they're proven, but yeah. Falsification of business records.
Okay, but these are financial crimes, right? These
Yes, they
aren't
are.
crimes of violence. These are not crimes of violence. These are not crimes of violation of another
You're right,
person's
it's not
person.
a crime of violence.
This
It's
is
a victimless crime.
monetary fiscal issue.
Yeah, it's a victimless
that deals
crime.
with financial.
You know what else is a victimless crime? Undocumented entry.
Well, wait. Let's just stop there because you say this man has 34 felonies, and
Yep.
usually when we talk about somebody who has 34 felonies, we're talking about a murderer. We're talking about someone who commits crimes against children. We're talking about a very serious thing. But you guys just throw this out there as a manipulation, when in fact this had to do with a
reality is
misjudgment
manipulative?
of revealing data about
Chrissy,
campaign
so I just want to make
contributions.
sure, Chrissy, reality
It
is
shows the
manipulative.
nature of your deceptiveness, my friend.
Okay.
It shows the nature of your non-sincerity.
Okay, so saying that Donald Trump is a 34 count felon is non-sincere, even though it is a fact of reality that he is a 34 count felon. I think that
Where is
argument
that in the
perfectly-
legal process?
I think that
that in appeals?
One moment. I think that argument perfectly encapsulates exactly what MAGA is. You think that reality is insincere, so you would rather dream up a false version of reality, this goddamn fairy tale that is directed nothing more than by the emotions of a madman that's been sued for rape and is infringing on our Constitution and wants to play dictator, and it's embarrassing. Listen, I'm so sorry that you feel butthurt and you think reality is insincere. I can't change the fact that Donald Trump was found guilty of 34 felonies in a court of law. Okay? It's not my fault he broke the law. It's not my fault that he was prosecuted for breaking the law. And it's not my fault that the jury found him guilty of 34 felonies. So why are you trying to fault me using words like insincere and dishonest for simply echoing the facts and informing you on what reality is? And I guess we'll never know because he left. Everybody spamming W guess in the chat. How do you like that? Is that a W guess? Everyone spamming W guess in the chat. You big fan of that? You big fan of that? Still a W guess running away? Oh no, where'd all the W guess go? No, where'd all the W guess go? Guys, come back. Guys, come back. Keep on spamming. You're gonna stop? Where'd they? Oh shit, they're actually coming back. No, I love this. I love this so much. Listen, can we all collectively laugh at the people that are spamming W guessed in the chat, even though the dude fucking up and ran away? That also perfectly encapsulates MAGA. Y'all support idiots. Y'all support runners. Y'all support the losing side, right? Not of the election. You support the winning side, but the losing side of intellectualism, fact, reason, and logic. That's awesome. All right.